Recorded Books presents Through the Snow Globe by Annie Raines. Narrated by Thérèse Plummer. Chapter 1. 'Twas the night before December 4th. You think I'm an Elsa too? Diana Merriman drew back as she faced her fiancé. Linus placed his hands on his hips. Today, he was wearing his lavender-colored tie with a print of tiny dogs playing fetch. She'd given it to him for their 6-month dating anniversary. It was meant to be more of a prank than a staple in his weekly wardrobe, but it fit Linus's personality perfectly. Equal parts fun, dorky, and unassumingly handsome. I didn't say that. No, but you didn't say I wasn't one either. Earlier in the day, Diana's teenage patient had tossed this insult at her, and Diana's thoughts had been simmering on it ever since. She'd only seen bits and pieces of the children's movie, and the character in question was beautiful and strong. Diana didn't think Addie meant for it to be a compliment, though. Elsa is an ice queen, right? Linus chuckled under his breath, which only made her feel more hurt by the accusation. It's not funny, Linus. Diana narrowed her eyes as she folded her arms over her chest, applying pressure over her achy heart. Linus reached out to touch her shoulder. Hey, don't be upset. I didn't mean to laugh. It's not like you to be so sensitive with stuff like this. Diana's lips parted. What is that supposed to mean? She could feel herself taking offense to even that statement. She was just stressed. She had a busy day, seeing one home health patient after another, and tomorrow was her interview with her boss for the big promotion she'd been pining over for months. That's all it was. She was tired and stressed, and she wanted Linus to side with her in this debate. He was her fiancé, after all. You're not an Elsa, okay? I think what your patient probably meant was that you're hard to reach, emotionally. You can be a little... Linus wobbled his head back and forth, a small grimace stretching the corners of his lips. Distant, sometimes. I'm not distant, she objected. I'm standing right here. Linus slipped his dog print tie from around his neck. Well, I didn't mean it literally. What did you mean then? Give me one example of a time when I was emotionally distant. Diana looked at him expectantly. She watched as the humor drained from his expression, a note of trepidation playing in her chest. Okay, he said, his tone suddenly becoming serious. How about ever since I proposed this summer? Diana's throat tightened, remembering that night. She'd had no idea he was going to ask her to marry him. The question had taken her so much by surprise that she'd actually started crying for the first time in front of him. It was the happiest moment of her life. What does that mean? You said yes to forever, but you've been dragging your feet on setting a date ever since. She shook her head. No, I haven't. I've just been... busy? Or... Linus folded the tie in his hands in half. Distant. One can have a career and a personal life, too. It's been done before. Diana looked around their bedroom, searching for the right response. How had the conversation jumped from her teenage patient's insult to her and Linus's wedding plans? Or lack thereof? She rolled her lips together, searching for yet another excuse to delay this discussion. She wasn't ready to discuss dresses or flowers, and especially not a guest list. Let's get married this Christmas, he said, his expression shifting into a lopsided smile. It was the same smile that had stolen her heart 9 months ago when she'd first walked into his father's toy store, the toy peddler. The same store that Linus now owned, following Mr. Grant's retirement. This Christmas? She repeated, an invisible cord tightening around her chest. Her breathing felt like shallow gulps. As in, 3 weeks from now? Linus grinned. It'll be perfect. My
Sample complete. Ready to continue?